I'm scared to say it.
Yeah.
Welcome to United for Success. This is our school.
A few years ago, I taught Frontline Catalysts just like I am this year, and the students were working with a community organization to research lead in the Fruitvale neighborhood, which I wasn't aware was an issue until we did that research. Young people tested soil samples from their neighborhood, tested soil samples from the school, and also learned about the health impacts of lead. And our findings were that our school and our community were highly contaminated by lead. This year, we were able to use the data from previous years about the lead contamination and the information that we received about lead contamination in the water as our foundation for research.
We've been learning what it does to the human body, especially for kids, and how does it get into soil. It affects their brain and their nervous system. They get a lot of problems, eye problems, more learning problems.
It could be harmful for your body. It could give you brain damage, cancer, or bone damage, or earring damage.
I learned that it's in the soil, it could be in the water, it could also be in the paint, because some painters use it to paint. They use lead paint to paint.
I know UFSA has murals on the wall, so as it rains, it falls through the wall to the soil and contaminates it that way. The lead can be found in the soil, contaminate the soil, and it can also be found in the water system. So as you're watering your plants with the lead contaminated soil, you're contaminating it even more. So if you're growing vegetables, fruits, and you harvest those and you distribute it, people are basically eating food that is full of lead and toxic that affects their body and makes them sick.
And what we're learning now is that doctors are saying any level of lead is toxic. So when schools or governments say that a certain amount of lead is okay, if I'm reading what medical experts are saying correctly, there actually should be no lead that young people are exposed to, because it's toxic at any level and because it accumulates in your body.
It's permanent. It's not going to go away.
Students did a lead testing, so we collected soil samples and we brought it in to get tested. I don't remember specifically how much, but it was enough where it was a dangerously high level.
I think what we're watching at the local level and at the school level is the people who should be responsible for caring for our communities and doing the things are not doing them. In the neighborhood that we're in and looking at who is here, folks do not have the money or the social power to sue or to demand change in the same way that other people do.
A lot of people are getting really sick from the water that they drink, especially children.
It made me feel, just frustrated and sad, because I just know this has always been an issue for I don't even know how long with OUSD school, and it sucks that it's still an ongoing issue now.
We talked about how it's environmental racism. We learned the science of why exposure to lead is harmful, and then asked students to think about best case scenario, what they would want to change about that exposure, or what would justice feel like, and to develop basically a community action plan about how they want to educate their community so that they know their rights, and demonstrate this belief of we all we got.
Well, we have been trying to fix everything. Right now we're trying to test the water, we're trying to fix the garden. We've taken out soil and replaced it. We've added covers over the soil that had lead in it. We went to a council meeting to talk about it.
Trying to make the government official to take out the lead in our water fountains.
My experience it's been difficult. I think in the beginning I was working with one of the teachers at UFSA, Ms. Corliss, and I think we just both didn't know how to start, because we were reaching out to the school, trying to find solutions, like maybe we could get a water filter, but nobody was getting back to us. So I even had to go out of my way to like purchase filters for the water system, for the hose.
We notified the people who were supposed to help and they didn't. And it's been 3 years since they were supposed to be here supporting us in helping the community be aware that there was a danger, or even renovating our campus, and they didn't. So if they're not going to do what is necessary, then our students are learning that in order to take care of their own communities, they have to do it themselves. And that's what we're doing right now. Community education, water testing kits for families, renovating the garden, and hopefully inviting community officials again to tell them it's their responsibility to do something and do something quicker.
As we started to just like do things on our own and take initiative, just even forgetting trying to get help from the city or the school, we did our first garden work day where we excavated like all the existing soil that's contaminated in some of the garden beds and replaced it with new soil. So even though it was difficult at first, I think as we went through the process, I think it's definitely been an exciting experience, and also like a really just empowering experience with how much people really care to get UFSA gardens up and going.
Working in the garden has been like not that challenging. It was kind of fun, honestly.
I like the teamwork that we did all together to get like those like times in the garden bed.
The thing that we fixed was the garden, because that's more doable rather than water. So I think we should fundraise or like talk to the city council to get new pipes, or just to get the lead off our water. We should do something like about that.
I don't want the future kids to deal with this problem that we are dealing with right now.
It is the responsibility for adults, most important, but they don't want to do anything about it.
Our students were door knocking and passing out flyers. Our students were inviting families to go to their doctors and add for less testing. Like, our students are calling clinics and confirming that they will test for lead so that families can go and ask that question. And these are 12-year-olds for whoever's watching this video. So I wish it was city partners. I wish it was organizations. It's not going to be. It's going to be neighbors helping neighbors. That's what it's going to be.
I want to see is people knowing like there's more lead everywhere. Like more people knowing.
Because like we can know about the issue that's happening to like our city, so they could be aware, so like they don't like get near anything like lead. Our family should know, because like what if their kid comes here and like their kid gets like sick and like they may go to a hospital.
I had a former teacher say that she developed cancer after leaving the district, but that she was drinking the water every single day. And you look at these people who are most impacted by injustice, and it's the same people over and over again. So how do I feel about these things? I'm enraged. I'm enraged because it's ridiculous. I'm enraged because it's explicit racism. I'm enraged because from April through the summer till the beginning of the year, when the district knew that there was lead in our water, no one was telling us not to drink it. These are 12-year-olds who are not responsible for taking on this level of responsibility in their community, who have called community partners to action who are not doing what they're supposed to do. So let's get it together and help them out. And stop renovating Lake Merritt when we should be taking care of the east. How many bike lanes do we need? How many times does the garden need to be renovated before we actually take care of neighborhoods that are suffering? So,
I mean, for the garden, I just hope, it can be a thriving garden. Like, we see how Life Academy's garden looks like, and I want UFSA's garden to look like that too. And I want the students to be able to say that their garden also looks like that. I want to be able to grow food, distribute food to students, staff, families. I just want that garden to be an overall space that's full of life, full of different plants growing, pollinators, food, all that stuff. And I hope there's no lead issue. Like, I hope we get to do something about it, and that's no longer a problem that students have to face.
Probably like putting like a little more plants and like more color around like the garden to like attract other like animals like butterflies and all.
I just want to see lead completely gone, like not in soils of the buildings that were